Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion advised.
Now, here's Loveline.
1-800-LOVE-191. With Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Hey, it's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew. He's a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number, 310-854-4455.
Hey, I'm doing drugs.
Yeah, give me the good Drew one, because he's not in the room.
If anything, I want to be dominated. Faggot better run. Faggot better run. I recently went to a fraternity party and got really drunk.
Give me a few. Give me that good long sentence he had the other night, Mike. Do you remember that one that Engineer Brett? Oh, you don't have it? What the hell's going on in there?
Hey, I'm doing drugs. I'm a prostitute. I'm a stripper.
Yeah.
I've had 5 billion relationships. I don't know whether I'm gay or straight.
That is
anal sex.
That is very true. Well, just keep them coming until Drew enters the room.
I'm homosexual. I'm homosexual. I was bored, so I had my tongue pierced. I was bored, so I put a spear through my penis. I'm in pain. My breasts hurt. I'm in pain. My breasts hurt. I'm homosexual. I'm freaked out about it. I'm trying to be heterosexual, but I had these overwhelming homosexual feelings.
Hey, Drew.
Having a good time?
What's happening, bro?
Hey, dude.
Hey, where you been? Show started, remember?
Working with our producer.
You know, I know to all of you that sounds like it makes sense, but on the show, working with my producer.
Hey, Adam, you got a big birthday coming up, next month.
What? I do?
Yeah. Well, Drew, that's what we were talking about.
Oh, yeah. You guys were planning my party, right, Drew?
Yeah.
That's right, in Littleton, right?
That's right.
Fantastic. I can't wait to go.
You hear me shoot my mouth off?
Coolio is allegedly going to be here tonight. Coolio is a strange guy because on one hand he seems really out of it, on the other hand he gets the job done.
The out of itness is sort of an act, I think.
You think?
I do.
I don't know, but the point is he does a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And he's always made ours, so we expect to see the Coolio at some point tonight.
Why would Coolio be any different than any of our other guests in terms of timeliness?
That's true.
I think Ann tells them 10:10.
No, please, let's be fair. She tells him 10:05. Right. Sorry, baby. All right, so anyway, Coolio should show up at some point tonight, and we're hoping real soon. Until then, we'll speak to Ryan, who's 18. Ryan?
Yeah.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
Got a question?
It's my favorite part of the show is that long silence after they ask me how I'm doing.
I have a question. I watch a lot of pornography.
Good, very healthy.
Yeah, and I don't know, I have a couple questions. Like, one is, can it be addicting?
Very definitely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because, like, I can't seem like, whenever there's a free minute at home, I run in my room and grab one of them.
That's a little suspicious. A little suspicious.
Well, it depends what kind of porn. What kind of porn are you watching?
Any and all.
All right,
are you doing
healthy.
Any other kind of addictive behaviors as it pertains to your sexuality?
Like, what do you mean? Like drugs or anything?
Well, that too.
No, I'm not into drugs or anything.
Yeah?
For like a while, I was like, smoked weed every single day for about the whole month of October, but...
Yeah.
Then I got over that because I tried to make some changes in my life.
How many times are you masturbating a day?
A day?
Yeah.
Once or twice.
Oh, well, that's not a problem. Well, how much porn can you watch? Do you ever watch porn and don't masturbate?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got a problem, buddy. That ain't right. That's sick, right, Drew? You can't just sit around and watch porn unless you're at a bachelor party or something. But even then, eventually you have to begin masturbating.
Right. It's sort of an interesting thing that people do. If something difficult happens to a child, when you hit puberty, it sort of sexualizes. It's very interesting. And it may not be something awful, and it may not be something even you're aware of, but when you start sort of compulsively acting out sexually, it often is a way of managing some very scary or sort of disorganized feelings.
But God knows, Drew, when you were 18, the only person that had a VCR at their house was Elvis and Hugh Hefner, right?
Yeah.
And they had like a big, I think it was like a 3.5 inch
control room.
Yeah, they had like a big reel-to-reel thing and everything, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, when you were 18, if you had a VCR in your room and a stack of movies, who's to say how much time you would have spent in front of the set?
Yep. I totally agree. I know what you're saying, is that it's difficult to ascertain the range of normal. I'm just saying it's just suspicious.
Like,
you got a pot thing going. It's just.
I was I was busy trying to fashion a vagina out of a Tupperware lid. When I was 18.
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. There's a 12-step recovery program for sex addicts. It's very effective. A new burgeoning field around there.
It scares me that he's not masturbating.
Because he can't. He's doing it twice a day, and he's preoccupied about porn.
Yeah, but what are you doing watching the porn?
He can't produce anymore. He'd do whatever he could.
Really?
He's preparing for the next round.
I don't think so. Ryan?
Yeah.
You could squeeze off more than once or twice a day.
Definitely. I mean, I'm sure everyone's gone for their record, but...
Yeah.
But, like, it's not like I don't feel the need to. I just like to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how long do you sit and watch it?
In a day?
Just think like an 18-year-old.
Well, let's
Honestly,
say...
a good 2 hours a day.
In a sitting, you just sit and look at porno?
Yeah.
One of the ways we determine addiction, Ryan, is by consequences. And if your other areas of your life are falling away because you can't break away from the hypnotic trance of the pornographic milieu, a little suspicious.
You suggest he work on the violin or something while he's watching it?
Well, whatever. Hey, I just got a fax here from a guy named Rich who tells me that Oregon is going to put on a pilot program for the morning after pill.
Oh, good.
Very psyched. It's kind of trickling down the country.
Right. Yeah. Like some sort of venereal disease running down someone's leg. That's great. Casey? Casey? Casey hung up, or what the hell happened? All right. Jenna?
Yeah.
You're 17.
Yep, how you guys doing?
Good.
Here's that silence. I'm just kidding. I had actually a kind of disturbing question that I've been wanting to ask, and I don't know who to talk to about it. It's having to do with my dreams.
All right.
And in general, I have nightmares, and I don't know why. But before the Littleton thing happened, about a weekend before, I had a dream that I was inside the basement of a school. And I had like a machine gun, and I was dressed in black, and I was shooting kids, and especially blacks. And I am not prejudiced or anything. And I live in in an inner city.
Thank God Coolio's not here to hear this.
I know, but I'm so disturbed by it. I can't.
This is before Littleton?
Yeah. I haven't told anybody. I'm so scared. I don't need...
Yeah, well, why are you so scared? I mean, you know...
Do you believe you're going to do something?
People have weird dreams all the time.
I know, but I consider myself intuitive, but not that extreme, and it's just... I was
think you're in...
kids, and it was like the same typical... I mean, I don't know.
Do you think you're in touch with something? Not in yourself? Something outside of yourself?
No, I don't... I have no idea. All I know is that I have been having... This is like the worst dream I've had.
Right, this happened one time, this dream?
Yeah.
And this is before Littleton?
Exactly.
And you're in the basement of a school?
Of my school, and I was shooting my kids, and then I turned around and I shot myself after I was shot by some other kid.
Anything else you want to tell us about yourself? You had a history of...
Well, it's kind of embarrassing, but I've had dreams that I am a guy, and that I'm having sex with my sister.
Yeah, I heard that one.
It's making me depressed, and I haven't told anybody.
Anything else about your history you need to know? We need to know. Depressed, cutting on yourself, eating disorder.
Yeah, actually, when I was about 9, my dad. That was the time when my dad was getting divorced with my mom, and I had a neighbor boy over, and we started doing things, and then I was 9 years old. I mean, I can't believe it.
All right, so there's not about you. It's about the neighbor's kid and what he was.
Well, that's not it. My dad walked in on me, and I was traumatized.
Well, you've got all kinds of stuff going on here, Jenna, and it's maybe we ought to chalk it up to the fact that we live in a time when people who've had this kind of history get these sort of impulses, whether it's from the media environment or whatever it is you're exposed to. It's no accident that somebody with a similar past would have a similar kind of impulse.
Yeah.
Although yours are still on a dream level, they're not anything you're actually planning. You don't have to be afraid of it. It's just understandable. It's a sign that you need some work, right?
I think so.
All right.
Okay.
So take care of yourself. I mean, don't worry that some force has overtaken you, or you're going to be compelled to do something.
God knows.
awful.
If I paid any attention to all the bizarre dreams I've had, I had my hand. I dreamt that Drew cut my hand open the other day, and a huge venereal-ridden cockroach crawled out of it. Coolio's here, everybody.
Coolio.
You see that lump there?
Yeah,
Drew tried to operate on it in the studio a couple weeks ago. Those two little sort of holes you see there.
Splinter or something?
I have a cyst in the palm of my hand.
Wow.
And
how you get that?
I used to. No, it's a good guess. I wish my penis was big enough to damage my hand that way. I used to teach boxing. I used to hold those mittens, and the guys would punch them. And I did so much of it that I got this cyst. And Drew drained it in the studio one night and pulled out a bunch of... What would you say was in there, Drew?
Ugh,
It wasn't pretty.
Yeah, it was like pussy almost. It could not
What do
have
you
been
mean
pus.
almost?
It could not have been pus.
Why couldn't it have been pus?
It just doesn't make sense. I mean, that was an abscess.
I pride myself on my pus production, Drew. That may have been pus.
Of a chylus tissue.
Well, the point is he said, we're going to have to take a scalpel and cut it open and remove what's inside of it. So naturally, I went home that night, had a couple of beers, fell asleep, dreamt that I was visiting a brothel. I was at a whorehouse, and that I came home, and Drew cut into my hand and peeled the whole hand open, and this giant, like, half crab, half cockroach, about this big, crawled out of that, and that's what was living under there.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good at all.
No.
You know.
Thanks for showing up, Coolio.
Sorry I'm late, I just got caught up a little bit. And
That's all right. That's all right.
Working on a new album, and, I just was writing.
Well, when is that new album coming out?
Hopefully somewhere around the end of June, maybe mid-July, I'm hoping.
What were we talking to you about last time we saw you? Was it this Mad Sports?
I think we did discuss that.
On BET?
Yeah.
How's that going?
That's going cool. I just got picked up for another season, another 2 seasons, rather. And, it's looking good.
So, you're working, and someone told me you're working on another TV show.
Working on a couple, actually. Working on the sitcom. I did the final episode of Malcolm and Eddie this season, which is going to be a spinoff from my show called Daddy-O. And it's on UPN. It airs May 4th.
Yeah, Malcolm and Eddie's been on for 4 seasons now, something like that?
4 seasons, yeah, they're doing pretty good.
So you did the final one, not the final Malcolm and Eddie...
for the season.
For the season.
Yeah.
And then they introduced your character.
Exactly.
And then your character's going to spin off. And what's it going to be?
It's called Daddy-O.
And what are you doing?
I play a middle class, what's that? Not construction worker. Contractor.
Oh, contract, yeah.
I play a middle class contractor, and I get the contract to do their new club, which they're going to open in Chicago.
Maybe you could be a technical advisor on this show.
Yeah, I was a carpenter. I was a contractor for many years.
Well, we definitely got to get you on to come guest on the episode. Right?
No, I just want to be the technical consultant.
No, can I do that though? Can I get y'all to come guest on the episode?
Yeah, hell yes,
including me in this too.
Okay.
Drew can be like the goofy white neighbor.
Yeah, that hates my kids.
No,
no.
He loves your kids.
I'm not a hateful guy.
No, but
just
goofy. You be acting.
Okay.
Ooh,
that's just
Remember in the Jeffersons, they had that big white buffoon who lived up above them, who was married to that good-looking black chick, and he'd always come down, Mr. Willis, and he'd always screw it up. He'd go, hey, Coolio, where it ain't.
Yeah, I remember that.
Give me 4. Where they do that? That could be you, Drew.
Yo, man, what's up? We on the Loveline?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? This is Coolio with the Flow, the Neighborhood Ghetto, with Dr. Superhero, down to go toe-to-toe with Hank, Frank, and Joe. Welcome to the Loveline with Adam and Dr. Drew. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kicking it for a minute.
The greatest compliment to this show is people don't know we're actually on. All right, Coolio, you ready to help us out with some of these calls?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
You know how it goes. YT?
Yeah, what's up?
You're 15.
Yep.
What's happening?
First of all, Adam.
Yeah.
I cannot wait till the day when you rule the world.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Thank you.
Dr. Drew, you're going to be right there by his side.
That's right. Well, not really by my side, really on his knees in front of me.
Groveling.
Well,
and what's up, Coolio?
Yeah.
First of all, I have a question for Coolio.
Coolio?
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. You were Jay-Z tour in Portland Thursday night.
Excuse me?
You were at the Jay-Z tour in Portland Thursday night, right?
Yeah, I was.
On Friday night, you were on 95.5, jamming?
Yeah, I was. I took over the show for about 4 hours and played all new music.
Well, I called you, and I was talking about how much I wanted to be at the Jay-Z concert, and you said that you're going to give me a CD.
What?
And I told my friends that you accidentally hung up or something.
Oh, wow. That ain't good.
And, they think I'm crazy because I told them that I talked to Jennifer Love Hewitt last summer, and I did. And then now I'm telling them that I talked to...
Okay, I see what you need. Okay, hang on the line, and I'm going to see if I can get Adam and Dr. Drew's phone person to take down your number and your address, and I'll make sure I'll send you a picture.
You got that?
Right, sir?
I'll send you a picture of CD and a T-shirt.
They
now.
got it.
Oh, thank God.
And your other question, YT?
You are a God. Okay. My real question. I was at my friend's house. I got to quiet down a little bit. My sister's sleeping. I was at my friend's house, and there were 3 guys there. And I got drunk off of a bunch of his dad's beers. And I was knocked out, and the next thing I noticed, I was waking up, and I was on my stomach naked, and I'm sure someone did something to me.
One of the guys?
Yeah. Does that make me gay or something?
These are friends. No, it does not make you anything.
Well,
it makes
helps.
you raped.
How old were the guys?
No, I was 15, same age.
Did you know these guys?
Mm-hmm.
Did you report this?
They were close friends now.
You
I was too scared. I'm not sure they did something
Are
wrong.
you sure they just weren't screwing around with you? You know,
Listen, I've talked about this many a time. When any of my buddies would get loaded and pass out, he became a cadaver, and we became medical students. It was time to experiment. You know what I mean? Get out the magic marker, draw the huge novelty-sized penis on his belly, duct tape something to his head, take some pictures of him with a hot dog in his mouth.
Yeah,
you know
all that stuff. So I mean, you felt all right. I mean, you weren't in any physical pain or.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, a little bit.
What?
Where?
Buttocks.
Oh.
A little bit of pain. Not much. That's why I think that they did something to me.
Sure you didn't imagine it or something?
I'm not sure.
Did you confront these guys?
I did at school. This happened like last month.
And
I was kind of embarrassed to talk much about it.
And?
But I just asked them if they did anything at the party last night. It was the night after. And I said, no, we didn't do anything.
Hey, but YT, how much drinking did you do that you don't remember anything? You just blacked out completely?
2 coolers, 3, I don't know.
Do you drink a lot?
Huh?
Do you drink a lot?
Yeah.
Normally you do.
And how old are you?
15.
15.
Maybe you might want to tell your parents about that you might have a drinking problem. We'll let the doctor handle
Coolio,
this.
keep going. You're right on. Go.
You might have a drinking problem, man. You might possibly be a teenage alcoholic, and you might want to get some help for that.
Well, I haven't had any urges till lately.
Alcoholism does not have to do with drinking every day or urges to drink. It's about consequences. And if things are happening to you in your life as a result of your relationship with alcohol, and blackouts are part of that. Blackouts are not a normal part of the physiology of alcohol. It suggests that you may have a real problem here.
So you're saying a guy could drink every day and be all right, but he could drink once a year and get nailed in the ass. That guy's got a problem.
That's true.
It is?
That's actually true. I mean, it doesn't tend to work like that, but that's true. And I resent this call a little. Not resent. I worry about calling it a little.
He
bit.
wanted a T-shirt first. Coolio, you better throw in a CD with that T-shirt. This guy's had a long week. All right.
Okay.
All right.
And the fact that people have this fantasy about gay males being somehow infectious. They're going to get you, they're going to intrude, they're going to rape. And it's not the way they are.
They're going to make you gay, you mean?
Yeah, or they're going to rape you, and it's not the way they are. It's not a typical gay male profile by any stretch.
No, they work the roofie route. They don't.
Yeah, so I just even just the fact that happened sort of it suggests.
All right. Well, listen, let me tell you, I may be in a lot of denial, but if I was YT, I would not hang out with these guys anymore. I would move on.
You sure your friends didn't do crap like this? Come on. Did everything else?
No.
Somebody got something.
No, I was never violated.
You didn't do something to somebody else?
No. No. I've tortured my friends. It was never sexual.
Yeah. Okay.
Just, tortured them when they passed out. You've done that, Coolio, haven't you? Friends pass out, you
hell yeah.
You pee on them or something?
No, I don't pee on people.
Oh, you don't?
Nah, at least I haven't yet. So, but I mean, we draw stuff on people, put a hot dog in their mouth.
Yeah.
Put whipped cream. You know what? You ever did this? Like take a warm cup of water while somebody's real drunk and sleep, put their hand in it, and
right.
they will straight.
Well, what I would do is I'd take the warm cup of water, I'd drink it, and then I'd pee on them.
Oh. I'm glad I'm not young anymore.
Hey, man, there's this one guy we never even met before. He fell asleep on a chair. We duct taped him to it.
Wow.
It was like Gulliver's Travels. It was great. Chad.
Hey.
Hey, you're 15. You're on with Coolio.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Chad? What's going on, man?
All right, first of all, I just want to say you guys are so cool. I listen to your show every single night. I don't ever miss an episode. Or
Thanks.
whatever. Okay, there's this girl, and I've liked her for about 6 years. And I started to think I was like falling in love with her, and she started like acting really weird, like past month or so. And one of her friends called me and told me that she thought I was really good looking and stuff like that. But she stopped. She liked me for like 2 years, but then she stopped.
Yeah.
And I started becoming depressed because I realized I must have done something wrong.
This is like my story. This is the games I played with myself when I was like 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
I mean, constantly.
You examine the hell out of everything, and everything's your fault.
You preoccupy about somebody for months, years.
Yeah.
And you find out in 57 she was Indian, you beat yourself up for 2 more years.
Right.
Just ridiculous.
Chad, this is just a woman's prerogative. This is how it works when people are young. They get interested in somebody, then they get interested in somebody else, then they get interested in that somebody
but the
again.
male prerogatives become obsessed for many years.
Yeah.
And get nowhere.
Yeah, you get locked in for years.
Nowhere. You
Right.
did this, right?
So
Yeah.
how old are you? How old are you, Chad?
15.
15 years old.
You're 15? Let me tell you what, Chad, man. Let me tell you something. Don't be falling in love at 15, man. Let me tell you something. If she thought you was good looking, believe me, man, it's 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 or 50 other girls out there who think the same thing. Go get you another one that looks prettier than her, that's smarter than her, and maybe her dad has money.
All right, Chad?
Well, see,
Coolio, you should write a book.
a whole lot of other girls have told me that I'm good looking, but I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean,
I know, Chad. Look,
I
you're
only imagine myself with her.
Yeah, I know, and that's the deal, Chad. That's
He only imagined himself with her.
It's normal for you to get fixed like that. It's not a healthy thing, but you gotta let go of this. It's not going to be a relationship. This will pass. This is a ghost of your past that is sort of fixing its object relations.
Oh man.
Hey, Chad, are you a virgin?
Oh, hold on
Yeah,
a second.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you?
Chad?
Yeah.
You're a virgin, man?
Uh-huh.
You are? See, let me tell you something. When you get something the first time, you'll forget all about her. Just go get something from somebody else. Use a condom, though, and, you'll figure all about her, believe me.
All right, Chad. I can always tell the virgins because virgins sound like they're talking to you from, they're standing on something hot. I like this girl. She's, hey. And then as soon as it was a Virginia, I was dating this bitch for a while. Get her good.
You go with it. Do you ever get death threats and stuff?
No. My immediate family's not real excited about my work. Other than that, everyone seems to enjoy it. True? Right?
Right.
All right. Coolio's here. We'll take a little break, and we'll come right back for more Loveline after this.
You have 5 seconds.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
2.
Back in a minute.
1.
Hey, I'm Dr. Drew. And Coolio, put them headphones on. Coolio's our guest tonight. We're just having a lively discussion during the commercial.
Yeah.
Coolio is here. Well, let's see. What are you plugging? Mad Sports?
Mad Sports, the new sitcom Daddy-O, which airs on May 4th, the last episode for the season of Malcolm and Eddie on UPN.
Well, you make your appearance on Malcolm and Eddie May 4th.
Exactly.
Right. And then next season, Daddy-O will come out.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably come out in September, I think. But that's usually when they pick up new shows, I think. I don't know.
How many are you doing?
I think the first commitment is either going to be for 13 or 26 episodes.
That's pretty good. Yeah, usually they give you 8.
A minimum commitment of 13, though. Also, I'm working, you know what? Me and Ed McMahon are working on something.
Ed McMahon?
Yeah. We're working on, we're going to kind of like bring back Star Search. But it's not going to be called Star Search.
Wow.
Actually, we wanted to call it just the talent show.
Right.
But the particular station that we're working with, they talking about calling it the Ed McMahon and Coolio show. I think that's kind of, Yeah. I guess you know how it is with these networks. They want to have some type of control, and we basically thought up the whole show, put the whole format together. So they were like, well,
who teamed you guys up?
I met Ed about 3-4 years ago doing the Muppet Show, and he just started calling me, and I called him back. We hung out a couple of times, went out to dinner, and came by the crib, kicked it, drank a couple of beers, and You know what I'm saying? Play some PlayStation. And,
I love that.
You know.
Ed did not come by the crib and play PlayStation.
You know,
Coolio,
we went to the swap meet, you know, and got some Levi's and you know some Nick kickers and.
So Ed did Star Search for I don't know how many
12
years. 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah, I mean a lot of big comedians came out of that, or singers, whoever,
dancers, comedians, spokesperson. Let me see, Sinbad, Sharon Stone,
Jenny Jones,
Brandy, Usher,
Leanne Rimes,
Howie Mandel,
a bunch of other comedians
people, man.
were on that
Martin
show too, right?
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the other guy? Let me see. Dennis Miller.
Drew, didn't you spin plates on that show in like 87?
Is 87? That long ago?
I think it was, Drew. So anyway, they want to bring that back,
right?
And you'll give it a sort of new appeal. Definitely. You and Ed McMahon will host.
Yeah, we'll take it to a whole nother level.
And is there any angle on it other than will it be the same categories?
Nah, the categories will change. As a matter of fact, there might not even be a winner every week. But we're giving away real prize. We're giving away money. We're not guaranteeing anybody to get a record deal and no stuff like that. We're going to give away money and cars and that type of thing.
Maybe me and Drew can do some celebrity judging. You know, when
definitely.
They have like Jose Ebert, the hair salon guy.
Yeah. That's two things I got y'all down.
Coolio's lining up a whole career for us. Why don't you just start calling Coolio the way Ed does?
I really should.
You guys will come up with a new show or a movie.
Coolio, last time I talked to you, weren't you doing some movie or something you're going to put me in?
Yeah. Well, we haven't started shooting it yet. So.
Oh, please. You finished that years ago.
No. Okay. We have not done it yet.
All right.
For I've still yet to call you for that.
All right. Yeah.
It hasn't. Well, you know, I've been shopping it for a while now, and nobody's picked it up.
He remembers asking you, Adam. See?
I'm sure somebody will, though.
It's the same movie. That's the deal.
Okay. Ty?
He was worried you'd forgotten about him.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Ty?
Yeah.
You're 17.
That I am.
What's going on?
You know, you guys have been talking about wanting to know what's going on in Littleton and how high schoolers are reacting and stuff.
Yeah.
We're holding a really big rally on the Capitol steps, actually, with high schoolers from all different high schools from across Colorado to come out and sort of show how high schoolers are feeling about their own education. And the goal of it is to get, hopefully, smaller class sizes so that things like this can't happen. And I remember you were talking about you guys might come out to Littleton.
I want to come out.
I think you definitely should come. It's going to be May 2nd on the Capitol steps at 2 o'clock.
It's this Sunday.
Yeah. We got...
I got to be in Minneapolis on Saturday, but I would come. I swear to God. Listen, Ty, I'm serious. I feel the need, and you don't feel the way I do for whatever reason. I believe that is one of our audiences. I mean, that's kids we talk to all the time.
Yeah.
And if there's any way I or Adam can be of service, we ought to go at least show some support, relieve whatever anguish is there that we possibly can.
I agree.
And even if it's just to be proactive and go to I'll be happy to speak on the campus.
I'd like to show my support by sending Drew out there.
That's fine.
Do what he has to
do. I just feel I need to stay out of the circus that is going there right now, that media circus.
See, that's what we're kind of doing, is that we're trying to see that there can be a way to have the media kind of work in a positive way for us.
Yeah.
Hoping to draw support for the rally. Things like this. I mean,
well, I'll tell you
a lot of kids in Colorado are going to be listening and hopefully come out and see this.
Why don't you talk to Ann off the air here, and I'll see if I can get out there. If you need me, if I can be of use.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. It's if I can be of use to you, whether it's to help therapeutically or just speak or just be there and just put my body there for a few hours to show support, I'd be happy to do it.
Definitely, there's a crowd that you would draw that can help just come and see what's going on, that having someone like you come will make them come out, make them come and see what's going on.
Hold on, you talk to Ann up there, okay?
All right.
What are you doing in Minneapolis on Saturday?
I'm doing a college appearance without Val.
Oh, is that going to suck?
No, it's mostly... It's
Where are you going, to a junior college?
No, it's like it's a giant... I never heard of the place. Catholic college.
Giant Catholic college?
Yeah.
They know you're half Jew?
They will. No, it's actually... I'm actually giving a talk. It's not our usual dog and pony show. So.
All right.
That's a
they paying you and everything?
You know, I've been really thinking about this whole Denver situation a bit, and I've been talking to a few people. We actually, I got a few people thinking of making a record and like donating the proceeds to the family.
Yeah, don't you feel the need to do something?
Yeah, kind of, sort of, man, because I can imagine, you know, when I was watching it on television when it first happened, I was like, damn, what if my kids was in there?
Oh,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, I'd have to put my body armor on and went in there, you know?
Yeah. I was watching, they were talking to some family, one of the victims that was in the library, and they couldn't go in there for a couple of days. And just imagine the waiting process.
Wow.
Your kid's not accounted for. They're not amongst the wounded or the survivors that made it out. You assume they're in the library with a few other kids, but you don't know, and you can't go in there for a couple of days. I mean, could you imagine?
Wow. You know what else? You know what I've been hearing them saying on the reports a lot? What's wrong with our kids? Why is this happening?
What's wrong with our goddamn parents?
Exactly. You know, look at television. Look what you see. You see murder, kill, rape on television. You see murder, kill, rape at the movies. You see it on the news. All they talk about is somebody else. Whoop-de-whoop got killed today. We got 10 wars going on in the world right now. All this stuff. And you wonder why our kids are crazy. We're crazy. The parents and the grown-ups and the president and the vice president and all of them crazy. They all crazy because if you can go bomb somebody, okay, you can go bomb somebody innocent that's not doing anything. Okay, now I can see bombing other troops, bombing military installations, and you know, those type of things. But if you can do some of the things that we do as grown-ups, then you just as crazy. I mean, you crazy, and that's why our kids are crazy, because we're crazy.
And the parents, not just society, but whatever society is, it's up to each and every individual group of parents to look after their own. And it doesn't seem like people are doing a great job at that. But who the hell knows what would be going on in your 17-year-old mind now, seeing what you've seen.
Yeah, but look,
hearing what you've heard.
You and I know that every kid that ultimately perpetrates this kind of thing has got a special past.
Yeah.
To a child, to a person.
Right.
Now, you got to be predisposed to have the environment influence you in a way like this. So.
Jessica.
Not just about would you pick up line 4 and talk to him about that?
Jessica?
Yes?
You're 18. What's happening?
I want to tell Coolio that I really like his music and that I always listen to him. And I've listened to you guys for 4 years, since I was 14. And I just really enjoy the show.
Thanks.
And my question's for Dr. Drew, I guess. Just for about the past year, I've noticed, well, I haven't noticed, but my partner has gradually noticed that I have a large, ball in front of, I guess, my cervix, I guess you would say. And it's causing me difficulty in having sex now.
How do you know it's not just your cervix? How does he know what he's feeling?
Well,
who's feeling this?
Her partner.
Oh, really? Wow.
I can feel it, too. It's pretty, it's gotten bigger.
Drew, draw the cervix for me and Coolio.
How do you know it's not just your cervix?
Well, I don't know what it's, when you get, I don't know how to explain it, but it's right,
Hold on, is that the fallopian tube up there?
These are the ovaries over here.
That's the ovaries? Okay.
This is the cervix. At the end.
It's at the end of the canal,
This is the cervix here.
I can feel it. I can feel
Where's the daylight?
This is daylight out here.
Out here?
This is
over here?
As you draw it in the bathroom.
How far do you got to go up to get the cervix?
Different people. 6 inches, 8 inches.
Really? Okay.
4 inches.
You've never been there. So
No. I may have, violated its airspace once when I got a run and start, but I never actually made it into the country.
Have you, Jessica, have you had a pelvic exam?
I have not had one in the past year.
And before that, were there any problems?
No. I have, no.
You have normal pap smears?
Yes.
No warts?
No.
No herpes?
No.
Okay.
But it's been a year since, and I've had several different partners in that.
All right, so you need to go back, right?
Yes.
You need to get a pelvic exam, see what's going on. I suspect the cervix can just feel like a ball at the end of the vagina, right?
But, I have pain now.
Yeah, well, if somebody's smashing up against it, it's going to hurt.
Okay,
but here's the deal. Let's not make light of this. The fact is, there could be a polyp. Things can pop out of the cervical mouth, the opening of the cervix. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, cervical cancer is something that afflicts young females. It kills young people.
What's he feeling it with?
Well, I can feel it with my hand, and so can he. And, he can feel it with his penis, too. It's pretty, large.
And it's smooth? It's smooth and round?
Yeah.
Baby's head.
No,
pregnant?
I have not had a period since December either.
Oh, boy.
And I've taken 6 pregnancy tests since then. All of them are negative. I just quit taking the pill. I've been on the pill for 2 years since I had my son. And I just got off of it in November, and I have not had a period since, and I have gained a good 30 pounds.
All right, I suppose it could be a fibroid or something, too, but you're awfully young for that kind of thing. Go tomorrow, get a pelvic exam, okay? Call us back, let me know what they find, will you please?
No, okay.
My sentiments exactly.
Wow.
You beat me to it. I was going to say, so you're going to the doctor tomorrow, right?
You just go.
That,
meantime, they're sitting around and postulating, diagramming what the possibilities are.
God knows what kind of genius boyfriend she's got. Probably works at a muffler shop or something. Still got his welding glove on, and he's up there.
An asshole.
Thank you, Drew. Trying to figure out what's going on, like some sort of backseat gynecologist. Hey, that's a good job. Backseat gynecologist.
Wow.
Hey, that should be the name of the new record. You got it.
Backseat gynecologist.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Let me think about that.
That's good, isn't it?
Cool, your friends are losing it here.
Well, you heard of backseat driving and armchair quarterback and stuff like that. I think backseat gynecologist. Drew?
Yeah.
Okay. Coolio's here. We'll take a little break when we come back. Drew, I want to
hear this one.
Oh, we'll talk to Melissa. She's 26. How does she deal with daughter's fixation on the boys who shot themselves? One second. Melissa?
Yes?
Your daughter's fixated on the guys who...
The suspects in the Littleton case, Littleton thing. She's fixated on, she keeps telling me that they shot themselves so they wouldn't be punished, and I don't know how to explain that to her.
Okay, well, that's good. Thank God they didn't survive and aren't in prison because, they'd be getting...
reamed.
No, well, they'd be getting reamed. No, they'd be getting marriage proposals.
And $1 million expense.
That's the thing I love about this country. Someone goes, kills a few kids, and then they go into prison, and then people start proposing to them. Crazy women start writing them letters and whatnot.
Nice.
All right, Coolio is here. We'll take a little break, then we'll talk to Melissa about her young daughter after this.
Call 1-800-LOVE-191 to broadcast your problems to the public. Loveline will be right back.
Hey there, it's the Loveline. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Coolio is our guest tonight. Always nice to talk to Coolio.
Y'all got to let me make y'all some new theme music, man.
You want to do that?
Yeah. Y'all got to let me hook up the Loveline intro, type thing.
Absolutely.
Hey, listen,
that up.
Coolio, let me say this about what you just said. I know what's going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
You're going to go back to the studio.
$5.
You're going to smoke a little weed. You're going to forget all about this conversation. Now, but listen to me. Seriously. Seriously. You do this, and it'll get played throughout the nation 5 nights a week.
Yes, I know. Far I speak if not of...
Coolio's getting back into the Old English again.
Jacobean
Shakespeare.
I must know that
Wait a minute.
I only speaketh the truth in yon... hither.
Shakespeareio. I got a new Saturday Night Live sketch. Guy in tights with funky dreadlocks popping out of his head.
There you go.
Shakespeareio.
That's a good one.
All right, well, cool.
Where he got his name from?
Maybe when I do Saturday Night Live again, we can write.
Salario, Salamio.
Yeah, next time you do Saturday Night Live, bring up Shakespeareio.
Yeah, there you go.
Melissa.
Yes.
All right, so you're 26.
Mm-hmm.
You have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
How old is she?
She's 6.
And she's sort of worried about or thinking about the guys who perpetrated this crime in Colorado and who killed themselves.
Yeah, I guess they had an announcement over the PA at school and explained to the kids what happened, and they had 15 seconds of silence. And first thing she said to me when I picked her up was that, those boys killed themselves so they wouldn't be punished.
Well, understand that at that age, kids have a very keen sense of right and wrong, and that's mostly the kinds of stuff they're processing about. They really don't understand motivation and things like depression and sexuality and all that stuff that we claim kids really understand. They really don't.
Yeah.
And so the stuff that they spontaneously think about, mostly, insofar as it pertains to issues like this, refer to issues of right and wrong.
So she said they killed themselves so they wouldn't be punished.
Yeah.
And that's sort of right?
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. I was thinking, she's 6. How does she know these things?
Hey, listen, my kids are 6, and they are they were very preoccupied with the Clinton scandal.
Oh, yeah?
And their whole deal was, why did he lie?
Yeah.
That's all they were concerned with. He lied? That's bad. Why did he do that? What made him lie? What's going to happen because he lied? They're just nothing else could reach them except the issues of right and wrong and why people do these sorts of things that are right or wrong.
All right, so, Melissa, you have a smart young girl there, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's smarter than me, I think, sometimes.
Just give her feedback about what is and is not good and bad, and what your values are, and just talk to her. She'll get it. She'll get it.
Bobby.
Yeah.
You're 16.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I just, I can't stop, smoking weed, and it's become a problem. My parents, they, always question me about, how come your eyes are all red, and just stuff like that.
Why don't you tell them you're addicted to the weed, or you get some help?
Yeah, but...
No, come on, Drew.
No, why not?
Especially when you're high. You can't admit you're high. That bums your high.
Bobby's calling us and asking he wants some help.
Well, we're cool.
Yeah. You guys are, Coolio, you're dope, too. I got, all your CDs.
Thanks, man.
What about M.A., Bobby? What about going somewhere? A lot of teenagers in M.A.
How long you been smoking pot?
For a long time, since I was 12.
Oh, that's not good.
How much pot you smoking? You smoke every day?
I don't know, 4 times a week. Maybe, sometimes all the time.
He's thinking about it every day, though, right?
Yeah, all the time.
Every day.
Either one of your parents alcoholics?
No, my parents are, straight edge all the way.
How about your grandparents?
No, my grandpa's dead, and...
Check it out. I bet. What's your ethnic background?
The what?
What's your ethnic background? Where are your ancestors from?
They're from Italy and Germany.
Heshadonia.
But check it out. I think you'll find some alcoholism in your grandparents. I bet you. I bet you. It's real unusual to see marijuana addiction without alcoholism.
Yeah. It's just I don't know, and all this stuff that's going on at school.
Yeah, it makes it difficult to stop, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's how you've coped up to this point. And in fact, there's good evidence that the brain development is actually stopped and maybe reversed even by this drug at your age. And so the brain,
free Coolio out.
Stop it. And so the brain capacity to give you the skills just isn't there. So go talk to somebody. Talk to a counselor at school. Get involved in MA. A lot of folk your age get stuck with this problem, and it can be dealt with, but it doesn't just stop. People either switch to something else or kind of keep on going. And as Adam will attest, you've got a whole army of loser friends that never quite got off this merry-go-round, did they?
Yeah, but they're losers anyway. It wasn't just a weed.
How do you know?
Pot is not, it's not a hard drug like cocaine or heroin or something like that. But at any time that you're doing something that you don't want to do and you feel like you can't control it, then it's definitely a problem. And that could be eating, it could be it could be playing PlayStation. If you just anything you get addicted to is not good for you.
I'm with you. And my rules are before you graduate high school, you shouldn't do too much of anything too often. And then after that, when you become an adult, when you get a job, when you support yourself, when you make your own decisions, do anything you want, just as long as it doesn't take over your life. You don't start missing days at work. You don't start screwing up your family life and what have you.
And as much as possible, don't remain steeped in denial about what the consequences are. And you can't change, you can't grow, you can't...
Wait a minute, I think you better explain that because I really didn't understand.
Okay, that people... It's one thing if people get off into a behavior or a substance pattern, but to remain sort of defended and denying that it's causing problems in their life is where people really get into trouble. Yeah, the denial that if they have to make a mistake, they get surrounded, something happens. There's tons of help out there. Go ahead, take advantage of that.
But what he's saying is, man, look, go tell your parents, man, that you hooked on pot and you need help.
Yeah.
Simple and plain. I mean, if they love you, they gonna help you.
Yeah, it's not fair. There's friends like I can smoke pot whenever I want. Yeah, I'm high right now, right, Drew?
Yeah.
No. I can smoke pot whenever I want, and it never really takes hold. I won't do it for 6 months, and then I'll smoke pot all weekend, and then I won't do it for another 6 months. But I got friends who wish they could do that, but they can't because the second they start up, then they start drinking, then they start doing coke, then they're off, then they're in. It's a personality, it's a gene, it's a whatever. It's not necessarily fair,
but understand
that's the way it is.
That gene has to get sort of charged up. You may not, Adam, have yet sort of conditioned that part of your brain to the point that kind of thing happens, but you may be predisposed to that.
Listen, you better hope I don't prime that gene, because you'll be out of a job.
All right, Mr. Like I said, defensive denial.
Yeah. All you against me. All you. I'll fire all you. Coolio, I'll hire you, and then I'll just fire you. Erica? Oh, no.
Erica.
Oh, that is a bad line.
No, that's my cordless phone.
There you go. Okay. You're 27. What's happening?
I just wanted to comment on the show. This was my first time listening. I just happened to be rolling through the stations, and I liked what I hear, and then I heard Coolio, and I'm a big fan, so I continued to listen, and I like the show. Just a good comment.
Oh, cool, lady. That's a good thing. Where you from?
Coolio's great on this show.
Where you from?
Oakland.
Oakland, okay, that's a good thing. What part? East?
Yes.
Okay. East side! East side!
Drew, quiet down with the east side. Let Coolio finish his thought.
I really enjoy this station. I wish I would have listened to it months ago.
Well, that's all right. You can start from here on in.
You got to watch the TV version, too. When is the TV version there? Tell us.
11 o'clock?
10:30, 11, maybe 11:30.
MTV, they move around a little bit.
Every day, right?
Did you hear about our Rolling Stone thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Erica.
Yes?
Someone showed me a Rolling Stone top 10. I guess they, in the back of Rolling Stone, they poll college kids, find out what records they like, what videos they like, what TV shows they like. Loveline was, I think, number 10.
Wow.
Really?
Pretty good. Yeah, you know what number 9 was? 60 Minutes.
Wait. They didn't let the people clap longer.
Go ahead, Mike.
We need more claps.
It was a pretty good list.
People don't know.
Friends, 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Loveline. Bizarre.
But I am going to refer a lot of listeners to this.
Thanks, Erica. I'm going to refer some urine into the toilet right now.
Let's do that.
All right. I'll think about you though.
And another thing, Coolio, just keep up the good work, because you are a very positive person, regardless to what the media, any negative stuff that's going on in the media.
There you go, lady. I appreciate that.
He's got some negative
I listen to you. I listen to what you say. I see what you're about.
Okay,
100% positive.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, Erica. All right, well, new listener. Fantabulous. Thanks for the smattering of applause. Mike Coolio's here again. We'll take a little break. Drew's already peeing. Drew, have you started the pee clock? You know what I'm talking about?
You know what?
Man, so if you sat down for another 3 minutes, you'd wet yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Because you've already punched the clock. You know what I'm talking about, Coolio? When you start to pee, it's like the self-destruct system on All right, Drew, get out. But let me talk to Coolio about peeing for a second.
Okay.
You know, in the Star Wars type movies, they always have the self-destruct thing on the big spaceship, and once they start the sequence, they can't shut it down.
Right.
That's what peeing's like. Once you decide it's time to pee, you start the sequence, and then you have to pee.
That's right. You sure? I never thought about that. That's real, though.
Yeah, it is.
It ain't like you can tie it in a knot.
You can't stop it. Once you start. Now, if you're driving home and you know you're 10 miles from your house, you don't start it.
Right.
But once you get off that off-ramp heading toward your house, then you start the sequence. But if you get a flat, you're going to be pissing by the side of the road.
Yes.
Because you're not going to make it to your house.
You know what? While we doing this, I better take the time to say goodbye, because I'm getting ready to go to the Naughty by Nature concert at the House of Blues.
You're leaving now?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Okay, but look, though.
What?
I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that intro for you.
Yes.
You're probably going to have to come to the studio and be a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Okay, now, I got to let everybody know what's up, right?
Right.
May 4th, episode of Malcolm and Eddie, the spinoff Daddy-O. Okay?
Right.
In June, the first release from my record label, Crowbar. The record is called Coolio Presents Breaking and Entering.
No, just come back and tell us all about
it. Okay. We'll come back and play some stuff.
All right, Coolio. Thanks.
Yo, Eastside!
All right, we're going to take a quick 10-second timeout, and we'll be back with more Loveline in just 10 seconds.
This is Loveline on
Radio
Station. The new Broadly. 92.1 KFMA, Green Valley, Tucson.
Hey, it's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew. Coolio has left the building. Drew, when you're peeing, Coolio is going to go see Naughty by Nature.
He's left?
Yeah. We hung out for an hour.
Oh.
All right. The Flies are going to be in here tomorrow night, by the way, and then Allie Landry, the Doritos chick, and she's doing some other TV shows coming in here Thursday, but I can't think of the name of that TV show. Oh, she's doing Pensacola Wings of Gold? She's doing that? Oh, she's guesting, but she's also doing
some animal show or something, too.
Yeah, that's right. She's on some animal show. That's exciting. All right, so anyway, you ever see that Pensacola Wings of Gold?
No idea what the hell that is.
That, what's his name from the transmission? James Brolin. That's James Brolin's show, right? And they got a bunch of really good-looking fighter pilots and a really hot blonde one named like Ice. You know, everyone's got a handle. No one's got a handle like...
Is that on a network? Is that on network?
It's syndicated.
Huh.
You know, they got names like Hammer and Ice and, Bullet and Jet and stuff like that. And then they fly F-18 Hornets around Pensacola. And there's a lot of drama involved with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't think the show really accounts for wars and stuff. I'm not sure. I mean, because, see, now they probably taped the show that's going to air next week or air last week, 6 months in advance. They can't figure out this whole Kosovo thing. Drew?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Marissa.
It's Marissa.
Marissa, okay.
No, wait a minute. What is it?
Marissa.
It's not what they were.
Hold on. Would you shut up, Drew? One more time?
Marissa.
Thank you. See, Drew? What's going on? You're 14.
Yeah. Okay, well, I know that someone raped me when I was about 6. And, I'm suspecting that it's my older brother. His name is Chris. And I'm suspecting that it's him. And I wanted to know if I should confront him about it and see if it is him.
Why do you know somebody did this?
Because I can remember vaguely.
Okay, but you remember being raped, but you don't remember who did it.
Yeah, because I've had, flashbacks and dreams that it was him, but I don't remember it being him.
How many brothers do you have?
2.
2.
But one's, only 8.
What would it do for you to confront this guy?
I just would feel better to know if it really was him.
What if he denies it, which he undoubtedly will?
Well...
How old is he?
He's 18.
Marissa, if you want to do something for yourself, go get some professional help on this, because certainly in an unsupervised way, and maybe even at all in this situation, the confrontation is going to be very ungratifying for you.
So you're saying you think when he was 10 and you were 6 that he raped you?
Yeah.
What kind of guy is he now?
He's nice. He's trying to find a job. He's living with us, my mom, my stepdad.
Yeah. But he's not a troubled guy?
No.
He's never done anything else like this?
No. Not that I know of.
Yeah, I wouldn't go too far with this just yet.
I mean, he used to do weed and pot and
weed and pot. And
well,
now if he's smoking grass, weed, and pot, he's got the trifecta going, Drew. Well, and these are just some dreams you've been having?
Flashbacks.
Flashbacks?
Flashbacks. And I'm supposing it's him.
Marissa, look, we don't know if it's him. He's going to deny whether it is him or not. And even if he were to admit it, it would only stir up a lot of unpleasant feelings. It would not accomplish anything for you that I can imagine.
Well, he's a nice guy, and he
Marissa,
would probably admit it
listen to me.
if it was him.
Listen to me.
He would?
Let's say he does.
He's that kind of guy.
I mean, the best you're going to get out of him is, hey, I was 10, you were 6, we were by the pool, I, grabbed you or something. But, I mean, he's not going to, do you remember where you were or what?
It's not going to do anything for you. I know you have a fantasy that it is, but it really isn't. And if you want to do something for yourself, go get some help, okay?
Where does she go get some help?
Well, my mom's going to put me into a psychologist.
Okay, all right.
She is? Why?
I have no idea.
All right.
She told me the other day.
Excellent. Excellent. Just talk to that person. Don't make any big plans. Get under some supervision before you do anything and discuss your plans with your psychologist, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Marissa. Take care of yourself. Drew, what are you getting all weird for? Are you getting weird?
Well, there's no point in digging. It's she wasn't listening. B, she has a fantasy that by somehow confronting a brother who may or may not have been a perpetrator of something that may or may not have happened is going to magically take away all of her ills, and that's not good thinking. And there's something more going on here than she's aware, because mom is upset and worried and sending her to a psychologist.
Right. Okay. All right.
We wouldn't get anywhere significant.
David.
Yes.
You're 24.
Right.
What's going on?
Well, I'm going to be getting married pretty soon. And first of all, I'd like to say that I really do think I am ready for this step in my life, and I really do love the woman. But I feel like I do too much maybe just for her to please her instead things that I might not want to do myself.
Like what?
Like quitting smoking cigarettes and going to college. I mean, just completely turning my life around within a couple of months, which has been very difficult and something that I wasn't ready for.
Yeah, that bitch.
Huh?
Next thing you know, she's going to want you to exercise or something.
Get a job.
Give up the heroin. Oh, that bitch. I tell you, that's what they all do, David.
No, I don't think that about her at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean,
so she wants you to go to college.
Well, I'm starting college now. I'm not doing well because I didn't feel like I was ready.
Well, you're 24. What are you waiting on?
I don't know. I didn't feel like that I was ready to go back to school. I mean, I was trying to work and support myself. And did
you quit your job?
No. I'm trying to work full time so I can pay the bills at home because I'm a commuter. I'm an independent student.
Right.
And I have to pay the everyday bills of life like everybody else in my own home. And it's hard to work full-time and go to school
All right, so you resent her a little bit for manipulating you.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like it's unhealthy for me to do things that I don't want to do, but I was just seeking your advice if you thought it was unhealthy.
Well, it's unhealthy for people who are incomplete to come into a committed relationship. Mm-hmm. She needs to fix you, and you need to be fixed. That's not a healthy situation.
Mm-hmm.
You love her. I don't know why. She wants you to be somebody different than what you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you willfully sort of go along with that as though it's good for you, and yet the whole while resenting her and building up all sorts of negative feelings that are going to come rushing forward someday.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good situation, is it?
Well, sometimes I don't feel like it is, but I mean...
It isn't.
And there is a flip side of the coin, though. I mean, I feel like our relationship is really good otherwise.
Well, then why don't you get your ass together by yourself, for yourself, and not put so much focus and pressure on this relationship, and see how she deals with that.
Okay.
All right?
Well, don't get married just yet.
And don't get married. Absolutely not.
Why don't you wait till I'll tell you what. Why don't you wait till you finish college to marry her?
Mm-hmm.
She got you started. You can tell her when you graduate you'll get married.
Okay.
Not that day because, there's a lot of festivities going on already. And you can't be wearing
it all together.
Yeah, but you're wearing the cap and the gown.
Tuxedo won't do that.
Oh, you just pulled the gown off. That is good, Drew. Okay, we'll do that. And what do you put on the cake? Is the groom wearing a gown on the cake?
It's a
just a
graduation cap shaped cake with a bride and groom on top of it.
Awesome. All right, David. And they take where they go, down to the unemployment office for the honeymoon or fill out an application? All right, David, don't rush into anything. You're a little bit pissed off at her.
Okay.
So you don't want to start a marriage from this place.
What happened to the chain-smoking slacker she fell in love with just a few years ago? All women, all they want to... Drew, what the hell... women get married so they can change you, right? What did your wife work on with you? You got nothing to change, right?
Working less.
Working less?
Mm-hmm.
Going home more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It didn't work, did it?
No, I do less. I used to be insane.
Used to work more than this?
Oh.
Really?
Oh.
Were you on that trucker speed or something?
No.
How could you work more than this?
I used to get up at 5:30 every morning and
masturbate and go back to bed?
Struggle to get home in time for, Tonight Show monologues. Every day.
Really?
And weekends would be my weekends off. I'd work 8 hours. Weekend off. 8 hours a day.
Drew, what happened to you?
Yeah, that was insane. I did that for 5 years.
Where do you get that?
Some of it's trained into you in medical training. I mean, you just keep up that pace of residence. You just keep going, and you sort of, if you buy in like I did to being perfectly available all the time.
All I can do, you know what I do whenever I'm working, like my thought bubble?
Yeah.
Like everyone else has equations and things they're working out. I have a bong and a cot. They just float around my thought bubble.
When I hear you complain about how hard you work, I just think, okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's hard for me.
I'm sure it is.
Brittany.
Yeah.
You're 25. Let me tell you, I come from, the Carollas. My dad got his college degree when he was in his early 60s. My mom graduated college in, like, her early 50s. I don't come from a group of achievers like you, Drew.
Okay.
We like to take our time. Brittany?
Yeah.
You're 25.
I am.
What's going on?
This is more of a curiosity thing than anything. I lost my virginity when I was 18, and I've had a pretty vast sexual history, and I have never ever been able to. Well, I was quite sexually active for a while.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to achieve an orgasm, and I'm just wondering if that's a problem that a lot of women face, or
Yes,
if there could be something wrong with me.
At your age particularly, it's a common problem.
Okay.
But it's something you should be able to overcome. You've never experienced one ever?
Never.
Even when you're alone?
Never.
Do you
And
try?
I can tell you, yeah, I have, and I can tell you that's pretty frustrating for the boyfriend.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Not about him.
See, I'd be all right. I'd be frustrated if I knew you had one before and then we couldn't find it again.
Yeah.
But as long as you never had one, all the pressure would be taken off. It'd be like being on an 8-8 team and you're like really close to making the playoffs in football or something. But if you're like 0-14, who cares? Smoke pot in the locker room, show up with one cleat on.
Here's the deal with women is that they need to be able to be open to or know how to establish intimacy for many of them for a normal orgasmic function to occur. Now, are you having trouble with intimacy for some reason?
No, I never have. That's never been an issue. I've gotten to the point where I feel like I'm there almost a couple times, and I can't ride it through or
Why?
something.
What's the matter? What's the matter?
I almost feel like I'm going to have to go to the bathroom. It's that.
Well, that is a common fear that you're going to somehow urinate, and some women do, and the guys don't mind that.
Okay.
I don't. I do. During oral sex?
No, I don't know.
What gets you closer, oral sex?
Definitely oral.
Definitely oral?
Mm-hmm.
So you're scared you're going to pee on the guy?
I don't know if that's so much a fear of it or if it's just that I get to that point and I just get really tense and I can't relax.
Hey, you ever tried the bathtub? Well, there's where you should go. Go into that bathtub. I'm telling you, women love that tub.
You may have Ann help.
They run that water right in the crotch there, and it works every time.
You mean the spigot?
Yeah, I guess. Or you get one of those handheld things, right?
Yeah, I think the vibrator works better, actually.
Oh, and change allegiances.
I think if she's never had one, this is a way to get quicker results.
Start with the vibrator?
Yes.
But don't bring the vibrator in the tub, right? They have a warning right on the vibrator there. It's
Batteries
like the hair dryer.
You're plugging it in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Ann has one that runs off of propane. I guess that's all right for the tub, too, right?
It's a turbo water
generator in the
power.
backyard.
All right. Brittany?
Yeah.
Go get one of those vibrators.
We'll have to try that.
Okay, but listen to me. Don't get the novelty ones, the ones that are named like, the Badger.
The Rascally Rabbit and those.
Yeah, don't get any of that. Just get the straightforward $9.99 smooth ones. You want to go an extra $3, you can get it in chrome. Those wipe down a little easier. And then don't be embarrassed when the guy fires it up in front of you, because they have to test it out before they let it out of the store, because there's no returns on those things. Lord knows. I almost got a fist fight with a guy over a butt plug that was on the fritz. Son of a bitch.
On the fritz?
Oh, yeah.
There's something mechanical about them?
This wasn't working right. They couldn't get it in there. I filled it with hot water. I followed the directions to a T.
Hot water?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my.
You ever see a butt plug, Drew?
I guess not in real life.
Butt plugs are big. Let me draw you a scale drawing of a butt plug.
I thought it was like a rubber cork.
That's what I thought.
No, let me draw you one. It looks sort of like a spade. I mean, like in like a deck of cards, know?
Yeah.
They always have a wide brim on the bottom, I guess, so, there's for retrieval. But they're about yay big.
It's not retrieval in case of so it doesn't get...
Yeah, so it doesn't get lodged up in there.
Oh, my God.
Drew, you ever pull a butt plug out of somebody?
A vibrator.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. I didn't personally. I was with a resident who did.
Backside?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Guy, right?
Of course.
And how do you get a vibrator out? You got to go in with your hand?
Or operate.
How do you operate?
You have to...
From the front side?
Yeah.
Really? How do you get it out the front side?
Open the colon.
Oh, yeah. You got to pull it out.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to try. Do you have tongs or something?
There's all kinds of ways. I mean, there's sorts of lassos and things you can use with a colonoscope, and I'm sure I've never had to do this.
Embarrassed when they walk in?
Yeah.
I mean,
they ain't walking in.
God.
Yeah.
But, and what's the story? They fell on it?
Usually, yeah, anything stuck up there. This one I was involved with back many long years ago. The guy said, my friend put it in, then he put himself in right afterwards. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
What is he like? It's like he's leaving the country or something. He's packing a suitcase. He puts that in, then he puts himself in. Like it's like he puts a big shell down the end of a cannon, and then he starts stuffing it in there. Oh my God! And then what did it do? Did it turn sideways or something?
No, it just was so far up it wasn't coming down.
Drew, draw the anal tract for me, because I can't figure this out. Is there some sort of like lobby in there, or does it just go straight?
Here, if this is the...
Draw the anus first.
That's it.
That's the anus?
It looks like that. And then, then there's a thing here.
Put some hair around it. What'd you draw?
Then it goes like this.
Uh-huh. And it goes... What Drew's drawing is like an opening with an S above it. And so how big is this area here down at the bottom?
It's pretty small.
So how far up was this thing?
It was up in here.
Up in here?
Yeah, well, understand it goes around the corner up here.
Oh,
it comes down
Christ.
Side, so.
Would you move...
This is why it wouldn't come down. Up in the...
Would you move it out eventually?
It wasn't coming. That's why the guy came to the hospital.
You know what I do with all my vibrators and butt plugs? I put one of those surfboard ankle leashes on it. You know, with the surgical tubing?
Bungee cord?
That's kind of like one. Like what the guys use when they go out in the big surf. John?
Oh, here we go. Here, whoa. Here
Ann's got the...
Is my picture not good? No, look at my picture.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay,
all right, that's the opening. So how far up was his?
Up in here.
Wow.
Didn't make it up.
Oh, man, that ain't right. So he got it out?
Yeah.
That's sick, man.
Yeah, well, that's the problem when you get two guys together. There's no rules anymore.
Yeah, I know.
It's there's no Geneva Convention when you get the two guys together. It's just anything goes. What's going on, John? You smoke a lot of weed?
No, not a lot.
No, but you smoke some, right?
Most days.
1 to 3 times a month.
Oh, that's not a lot.
1 to 3 kilos a month?
No, 1 to 3 times.
All right, what's going on?
All right. At my school, 2 people have gotten in trouble because of that Littleton thing. And one guy, I think it was good because he sent a death threat to a girl in a note saying that if I wanted to kill you, I could. And she reported it, and he got arrested. So I think that's one good reason about everyone being aware about the Littleton thing. And then I think the one stupid thing about it is this kid who usually wears trench coats. I kind of know him. He wore this long navy blue trench coat. And they had suspicion about him, so they suspended him for 9 days today.
Well, who cares? Listen, I'm all for telling kids what to do. I got no problem with that. I mean, you want to tell a 15, 16-year-old to dress this way, this is the school dress code, fine.
But it wasn't the dress code. We don't have a dress code saying no or trench coats.
Well, good. You got one now.
Okay, hey.
Hey.
I have one more question. Can I have another question?
Yeah.
All right, my niece, it was in California, like 2 days ago. She's 8 years old. This guy across the street who's like 20 stuck his two of his fingers up her vagina.
What?
Yeah, and I want to know if people who have like problems and like mentally after sexual abuse and stuff like that, if it occurs less likely after a certain age, or is it just like
it's less likely after puberty, and it's less likely if it's not a big issue if it's one episode, and it's not as bad if it's not intercourse. But this is bad. This can really affect kids. You got to get her some help.
How'd you find out about this?
I was in my room waiting for my dad to get off the phone. I walked in there, and he was yelling on the phone. I asked my dad what happened, and he told me.
Wow.
You get her some help.
Talking to his ex-wife who lives in California.
Get her some help, right?
And did they arrest the guy?
Not that I know of. I don't know what's going on yet. My dad says he's just going to go down there and kick the living crap out of him.
Setting a fine example of vigilante justice for young John.
Yeah.
All right, John. Listen, try not to let your young mind be polluted by all this this fiasco called life.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, that'll be my next rap album title. Oh, Jesus Christ, with the fingers. Well, I'm sure the guy will never do it again, right? Probably learned his lesson. Drew, we're all right. You're all right just killing these people, aren't you?
If it happened to my kids, I have no doubt that's what I'd want to do.
Well, listen, here's what I think. I think all laws ought to be made based on your kid. Drew's kids. Or whoever's kids. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, people do that all the time. They go, oh, these prisoners have rights. They should have conjugal visits. They should have cable TV. They should be able to get Chuck Norris autograph paraphernalia and things like that. They should be able to this and they should be able to that. But if you ever put yourself in the position of, let's just say this animal killed your daughter, now he believes he should get cable TV. What do you think most people's take on that would be?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's all just base it on that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Just do every law will be like it was your kid. All right? True?
I can see we have to go through a brief dictatorship before democracy is reinstated in this country.
All right. I'm ready to lead. You people just say the word. I already got my uniform worked out.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. I've got, I'm going to be wearing spats, on-high boots with those big, with those epaulettes on the things. And then those, you know what I'm going to bring back? Those big shoulder hooves, you know, with the tassels hanging off them.
And maybe a big hat, a big Napoleon-like hat.
That's good.
Okay.
All right.
Whatever.
All right. I'll tilt it forward when I'm angry. We'll take a break.
Okay, so come on down off the tower.
This is not your parents.
The weekend of July 23rd. Loveline on 92.1 KFMA.
Hey, it's the Loveline. I'm Adam. That's Drew. We're going back to the phones.
Jean Valjean. That's who it is.
I have not yet begun to fight.
Right.
All right. Everyone.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Jean Valjean is... Oh, please. That's the guy from the French Revolution.
Drew, listen.
It's Paul something.
We got a lot of young stoners whose heads are this close to exploding. Do you understand that, Drew?
All right.
This is not...
Well, tell what we're trying to figure out here.
Trivia challenge for Dr. Drew.
Right.
Somebody came up... The quote, I've not yet begun to fight, was said by whom?
That's the question.
Okay. We'll find no answer to that on this
Revolutionary War, sort of Admiral Raider type.
Okay. Can we move forward?
Yeah, let's go.
Greg?
Yes.
You're 20.
Yes.
What's going on?
Okay. Not much. I'm just having a problem meeting chicks. I'm 20. I know in Adam's world I'd be the perfect person. I'm a first-time caller. I'm a virgin. So as far as that's concerned, you're probably like, wow, hey, listen, wow, we got someone that's 20 and he hasn't hit anything yet. So that's probably good.
Yeah.
As far as you're concerned.
Yeah.
I go to a junior college too, and I know how you feel about junior colleges. But I'm going there because I work full-time. I'm a professional chef, and they're helping me pay for school. So that's where I went due to the fees. But for some reason,
Adam, chefs.
Chefs get a lot of poontang.
Well, see, the problem is I work the third shift, and I'm on vacation this week, but I just don't have any luck for some reason. I just don't get it.
What kind of place do you work at?
I work at a 4-star hotel.
Yeah, but hotel chefs don't get any.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're not up... They have to be visible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to get that cart that you push around and set stuff on fire and then put it out real quick. With, with the big hat.
I was also like an Eagle Scout, too, so I know all about that stuff, too.
Yeah, let me tell you something. It's sad, but it's true. Women, at least sexually, do not repay men for being Eagle Scouts or for being chefs or for being professionals or for loving their parents. You'd be better off if you just started carving on yourself, got a tat, dyed your hair, and started complaining about the man in terms of trim. Now, eventually it'll pay dividends, but not at 20.
Okay.
Because they're looking for those sort of attributes later on in life. At 20, they want a rebel.
Okay.
And then by the time you're 30, just as long as you don't drink that much and you only beat them once in a while, you're in.
The deal is, Greg, look, don't listen to any of that.
It's true.
You just need to find a way to meet more interesting people and different people. And it sounds like you're pretty tied up with work and school. And I'm certain that you will be somebody who would be valued by someone. Really. And if you need to be one of your career objectives is to try to meet a lot of interesting different people, have friends network for you. Make a point of this.
Do you drink?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, that's the key.
No, of course.
Yeah,
well, it's true.
The problem is, here's the key part now, okay? I drink, but I work Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night.
He never had any time to do anything.
Yeah, and I drink when I'm at work with my partner.
No, partner. Where do you think it's calling from?
Boston?
Yeah, Boston. Well, actually, Dorchester, near Roxbury,
Oh, sure. That's my, those are my homies are.
Yeah, homies, man. Jesus and Ice Cube and all that stuff.
Hey, Greg?
Yeah?
How long did it take you to become an Eagle Scout?
Took me about 6 or 7 years.
I'm thinking about becoming one. You know what I'm really looking for now that I'm, a big celebrity and everything, and I have no time for going to college or becoming Eagle Scouts or anything. I like a lot of sort of honorary degrees and diplomas and things bestowed upon me. Eagle Scout. I'll start
college graduate.
College graduate.
Oh.
I'll start with a 4-year degree and I'll make my way up to a doctorate.
Oh.
Would that be good?
If that happens,
thank you.
Think about what that will mean for the system.
It'll be great. How they give Bill Cosby stuff, don't they? He's not that funny, is he?
He went to graduate school.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did.
He ran a track for half a semester and donates a bunch of money.
And when I was in college, he was in graduate as an adult, like a 45-year-old man at UMass Amherst, and he lived there. His whole family moved them all out there, and he lived there for like 3 years.
He was just banging co-eds and doing gigs on weekends. He wasn't doing any real learning.
No, he was not. He was...
The only degree I have so far,
in education.
The only thing I have suitable for of achievement, suitable for framing, is a something I got from Farrell's, the ice cream place, in like 1974. It was a plaque that declared I had eaten an entire pig's trough. Which is like 40 scoops of ice cream and a pound of fudge.
John Paul Jones, thank you.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That's it.
That's right. He was bass player for Zeppelin, wasn't he? Okay. Thanks. Mark?
Yes.
You're 52.
Yes. I just talked to my daughter earlier this evening, and she's 20 years old and lives with her mother back in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she met somebody through some personal ads back there, and this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And now she's talking about moving in with the guy.
Oh, boy.
Because her mother's sort of given her an ultimatum because she's financially reckless and doesn't keep her apprised as to where she goes and stays out.
Who's financially reckless? Your daughter?
Yeah, that's what my ex says.
Uh-huh.
And she's got a good paying job now, but she's just going through money like a drunken sailor.
Your daughter is?
Right.
What kind of job does she have?
She's a secretarial at a company where her mother works.
Well, Mom needs to let the consequences occur for the reckless financial behaviors, but...
Yeah, well, she figures the daughter's living under her roof, and she's not really abiding by her rules.
How often do you see your daughter?
Once a year.
Uh-huh.
I pay for all the expense for her to come out here and visit for a week.
Uh-huh.
And but lately our communication has broken down. She used to call me every week, and now the past couple months I have to initiate the calls after 2 or 3 weeks of waiting to see when she's going to make the first move.
Boy, she is seeking refuge in this guy that she doesn't even know. She's building a whole fantasy around the guy.
Right.
He's only 3 weeks into the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what she's walking into? You have to find a way to dissuade her.
Yeah, well, I told her she asked her to call me tomorrow night, so I thought I'd get all of you gentlemen to find out, what I could share with her. Because in listening to your show, a lot of times children are traumatized by a divorce, especially at a young age.
Absolutely.
And at a later date or later in their life, things start impacting on them. And they can't figure out why they're doing what they're doing.
How old was she when you guys got divorced?
10 years old, and she's 20 now. So.
Uh-huh. Why don't you ground her?
Wish I could. I wish I could.
Yeah.
I'd, have her move out here with me, but then she would have to start her career path all over again.
Well, secretary, that ain't too hard to start up again.
Yeah.
It's not like she's a celloist with the Philharmonic or something. I mean, a career path is secretary.
Right. But I've always been proud of her, that she's always followed a good career path. She's had these dreams, and she's fulfilled them, and now...
taking dictation? What dreams are you talking about?
No, she started out, she wanted to be a cosmetologist. So she worked on that, last 2 years of high school.
Right.
And she achieved that goal, and then she got in with a hair salon, and she did very well with herself.
Okay, so she's doing all right, but she's a little lonely.
Yeah, and I was thinking, maybe she's looking for this father figure.
Well, there's an element of that. Let me ask a question, though. It's tough for a dad to answer, but is she a big gal?
Oh, no, she's very attractive, but she's probably 5'3", weighs about 115 pounds.
No reason to meet people through the newspaper if you're not fat.
No,
there's no excuse for that.
I've mentioned that to her, that she's not homely or overweight or anything, and she has no reason to be desperate.
Right.
She's got a long life ahead of her, and she should be choosy about who she's...
Well, has she been corresponding with the guy over the phone?
I don't know how it transpired. I just found out about this last week.
But she's certainly met the guy, right?
Oh, sure. I asked her what her mother thought of him, and she said, she thinks he's very nice.
How old is the guy?
24.
What's he do?
I don't have any idea. She didn't share that with me because I was in the background, wanted her to get off the phone because she had to use the phone or something. So
the whole
I asked
thing
her to call me back
sits
tomorrow.
poorly with me. I don't know.
It does? Well, maybe she really likes the guy.
I've known the guy for 3 weeks. She's going to move in.
Yeah, she shouldn't move in with him.
That's the whole deal. She can date him, fine, but move in now. She's going to move in. There's something very wrong with that.
Right. It's awful coincidental that her mother's given her an ultimatum, and now her daughter's taken this possibility to move in.
Mark, do you have any kind of relationship with your ex-wife?
Not too much. I don't communicate with her very often.
But
whenever I call to talk to my daughter.
All right, but Mark, let me give you an angle here. Seeing as how you are an adult and theoretically your ex-wife is an adult, why don't you play this angle? You call up, the ex-wife answers the phone, and you say, "Listen, I know we've had our differences, and maybe I've done a few things that weren't right. Maybe you're angry at me, and maybe you should be. I don't want to talk about us. I want to talk about our daughter. And there's no reason she should suffer for our mistakes. Now, she's getting ready to move in with a guy she's known for 3 weeks, and I think it's a bad idea. And I'm sure you know on some level it's a bad idea as well. I understand you're giving her an ultimatum. You want her to move out of the house, so on and so forth. But I think this is helping her make this decision, and she's making a hasty one, and I think a bad one. I'll tell you what. I'll send a couple $100 a month and let her stay an extra couple of months, get to know the guy a little bit better, and we'll see about doing it at the end of the summer. Meanwhile, I'll subsidize her stay there. Huh?
Something like that.
Sounds good, right?
They need to work together.
Yeah. Okay.
Show united front.
Fantastic. Want to take a break? Who you want to talk to?
Jessica.
Jessica, boyfriend, had penis surgery, wears a catheter, and has pain during erection. Oh, my God. Hang on, Jessica. We'll take a little break. We'll get back, and we'll have a little penis talk with you after this.
Call 1-800-LOVE-191. Operators are standing by. Loveline will be back in a minute.
Of retarded sexuality.
Loveline.
Exclusively on Tucson's New Rock. 92.1 KFMA.
Hey, it's the Loveline. Ready to trudge forward here, Drew?
Yes, sir.
Jessica? Yes. 23?
Uh-huh.
What's going on with the boyfriend's Pepe?
He just had surgery. He had a urethral stricture because he got hit too many times when with a puck. He's a goalie.
Oh, boy.
And
oh, my God.
He wasn't wearing the right type of cup. So this happened 3 years ago, and his symptoms showed up about a year and a half ago, and he just finally got it done last week. And he has to wear a catheter for a month. And lately, he's been having semis a lot, semi-hard-ons, and they've been really painful. I mean, it's really excruciating to watch, and I'm just afraid of what's going to happen when he has like a full-on erection, and I just want to know.
Well, the pain will prevent that from happening, I suspect.
I hope so, but could he tear something? Could he tear the blood vessels, or because he also had like a piece of his cheek. He had a buccal mucosal graft.
Wow.
Put down there.
Amazing. Why his cheek?
It's just
maybe because of the cells, or
similar cell type.
Yeah, but doesn't it show up on your face?
No, in the inside.
How does that buccal mucosal graft work?
Graft. They just pull off.
Thinking of the hockey
use the
graft.
cheek.
Yeah.
They probably have a device that scrapes them off.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I don't know, but...
What do they do with that?
Put it down where the stricture is.
Just like he's blowing himself.
Cut out the stricture, and they go inside here and cut out the stricture.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
So he has, he has a lot of sutures on his scrotum, and he has this catheter that he has to wear for a month.
Oh, man. Listen, wait a minute. He was wearing a cup.
Not a right one, though.
Yeah, I know, but what's the difference?
I don't know. Like, I guess he's a goalie.
Sure.
And
not reinforced sufficiently, I guess.
Yeah, maybe a better cup. I don't know.
Listen, I'd take I'd put like a sofa ottoman down there before I hit the ice if guys are smacking that frozen puck at me going 110 miles an hour.
Right.
Oh, so he got hit a few times.
Right, a couple years ago.
And it caused some scarring?
No, it caused this kink in his urethra.
Right. Scarring, and that narrowed the urethra.
Yeah.
All right, well, why are you saying no, Jessica? You said it was scarring.
I don't know. The doctors...
Okay.
They didn't really want to talk to me since I wasn't his wife or his...
All right. What's he play? Semi-pro ball or something?
No, he just plays recreation.
I mean, puck or something?
Recreational.
Oh, listen. No, but you should be paid a whole lot of money to play hockey. You don't do hockey for free. Rollerblade for free, but don't play hockey for free. All right, so he'll be all right. Right, Drew?
Oh, yeah, in about a month.
I'm just afraid that if he,
Jessica, look. These are urologists taking care of him. They know that the penis can become erect. I'm certain they've taken the proper precautions. It's not the first time a man with urethral stricture repair or an indwelling catheter develops an erection. I'm sure it's uncomfortable, but it's going to be okay.
So you get hit, and where you get hit is where the trauma takes place, and that's where the scarring takes place?
Yeah.
So it could be halfway up the penis?
Yeah.
So for me, it could be half inch, 3/4 of an inch?
Half an inch.
Up to the middle?
Yeah.
Right. And then how do they clear that? How do they fix that?
I suppose they open up. She said it went through his testes, so they went going behind, in the penis and open up the urethra and put in some stuff. Cut out the scar, put in a little graft.
Oh, man.
It's amazing.
Oh, man.
Microsurgery.
Why couldn't they just ream it out with that shish kebab skewer you use?
That's a lot of what they do.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, oftentimes. Maybe we've had that done before. It may have re-stenosed, or maybe it's the location of the stenosis. That's a tricky question.
Oh, well, what about this? I'm no urologist, but how about just feeding a tube up there and cutting it off and just sort of lining the urethra?
Yeah, that's a foreign
not going to work. Foreign body. Reject it. Tim, I'm still working on it. You're 17.
I'm 17. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
All right.
I'm sitting here just grabbing my nuts about that last call.
Oh,
that
man.
was terrible.
Listen, you know how they say when some tragedy in Colorado like this happens, they talk to the parents and they say, just tell your kids you love them every day, kiss them every day, tell them how much you appreciate them every day. Us single guys who don't have kids should really do the same thing with our junk. I mean, I want you to look at your scrotum.
I already do.
I worship it, but I don't really say to it. And it's like if something should happen, like a puck in the nuts.
Women strangely get cats and do that.
I'd be crying and I'd be going, I wish I'd told it I loved it.
Time with it. Right?
Yeah, I wish I'd spent more time. I wish I'd said the way I felt. I know.
In spite of the immense amount of time you do spend doting over it.
I know it knew, but I just wish I'd said it. You know what I'm saying?
Women.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Pussycats.
Drew, don't get weird.
Isn't that weird?
All right, go ahead. Tim, I don't know what you're talking about, Drew. Let's move forward.
My girlfriend we've been talking about having sex recently, and she just today I think got on the orthotricycline pill.
Right.
And I was telling her that I really didn't think it was a good idea to have sex unless we got a hold of the morning after pill, because I listened to the show a lot.
No, Tim.
And
well, what? That's all right.
Tim, she's on the birth control pill.
Yeah, but I mean, just to be safe, right?
No, No. Morning after pill is to be taken only as a backup measure for somebody that is not on any contraceptive. It has about a 70% effectiveness. If somebody's on the birth control pill where the effectiveness approaches 100%, that is not an appropriate or even a consideration. She's already on the birth control pill.
All right. God bless him for
thinking about it.
Being a little anal about the vagina. Jesse.
Jesse's asleep.
Oh, Jesse's been on hold for 95 minutes. Let's see, can we hear Jesse?
Mike?
Jesse? Put his heart and soul into a relationship, and now girlfriend is cheating. Oh.
This is the call we had earlier.
Yeah. I don't know. Jesse fell asleep, right?
Yeah.
Joe?
Hey.
It's really the highest compliment you can pay to a radio host. You fall asleep while you're on hold.
I'm still awake.
All right, Joe, what's going on? Oh, Joe's been on hold for 84 minutes.
Yeah.
Blame Drew. I don't pick the calls.
Here's what's going on. You guys talk a lot about, you, Adam, are always talking about how, kids shouldn't be having kids, and the whole problem of kids grow up with bad families and they grow up to do bad things, right?
Yeah.
So my problem, I'm not so young. I'm 22, but I have a son with a woman who has all kinds of problems, and she and I don't get along. And I worry a lot about how my son's going to grow up. And
how old is she?
What's that?
How old is she?
She's 21 right now.
Okay. How old is your son?
He's going to be a year old
14.
next month.
Mm-hmm.
I worry a lot about. I only get to see him once a month. His mother and I have no communication at all. I don't trust her at all. She's got problems of her own. I worry a lot about how he's going to grow up, and I worry about what I can do. I don't want him to grow up and kill 12 kids,
Mm-hmm.
or especially in light of the situation in Colorado right now. I've been thinking about this. It's been on my mind. So, but I'm afraid to start communicating with his mother because I don't trust her, and I'm afraid of what she's going to do to my life.
Well, what can she do to your life if you communicate with her?
She's incredibly manipulative, and if I start talking to her now, she won't leave me alone. She doesn't, she talks to my parents, and she sees and I get to see, the way I get to see my son is my parents will go pick him up at his mom's house, and then I'll fly down there, because I'm in a different state right now. I'll fly down there, and I'll see my son that way, but I haven't spoken to her in almost a year.
Aren't you willing to take a little bit of abuse and discomfort on behalf of your kid?
I suppose so. If I thought it was gonna, help.
Well, it certainly doesn't help to really abandon the situation. Perhaps you can at least monitor or prevail if something really gets out of hand. I would suggest you begin communication with the ex-wife again. Your parents are communicating with her. You got to show a force there.
Yeah, well, this is really the problem with young people having kids, which is, I want to take care of the kids, but I got a schedule. I got stuff. I want to go to school. I want to have my kicks. I want to have a good time. I got to work. Times are tight. It's like, hey, listen. On paper, everyone's a great parent. Oh, they want the best for their kids. They want them to be safe. They want them to be well educated and taken care of and nourished. They want the best for their kids. Everybody wants the best for their kids. I wouldn't argue that with anybody. But at 20. You cannot provide.
Can't pull it off.
You can't pull it off. God knows I'm a decent enough guy. All right, I'm not that great a guy. I'm okay, though. But at 20, hey, man, I couldn't get my own ass together. And this is what we're talking about. It's like Joe sounds like a nice enough guy. I'm sure he'll make a fine adult one day. He'll be 34 years old. He'll have his college degree. He'll be making some money. He'll be remarried. Everything will be great, except for there'll be some 14-year-old running around who's really angry. He'll be my age, but he'll have a 14-year-old running around, getting pissed off, knocking somebody else up, taking it out. And the other thing that drives me insane is, and can anybody picture this? It's like, hey, I'd like to talk to my kid, but the person my kid's currently living with is really effed up, really nutty. I don't trust her. I'm not sure what she'll do next. She hangs around with some people that are a little bit dicey. So, I love my kid, but I ain't getting near that. Your kid is right in the middle of that battle zone.
Living with that battle.
Living with that chick that's too nutty for you to see once every other week.
It's attached to her.
Is attached to the kids. The kid's attached to her goddamn hip.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he's not feeling any effects of that, though, the kid. The kid's probably fine.
Yeah.
It kills me. Okay, we'll be back.
This is Loveline.
Loveline will be right back.
On Tucson's New Rock, 92.1 KFMA.
Better show.
Thank you to Coolio.
Thank you to Coolio. We'll see him soon.
And you'll be in a movie and a TV show now.
That is right. So, until next time, I'm Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station. And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Engel. Now, please listen to this station longer.
Saludos, amigos. This is the New Rock Alternative. 90.1 KFMA.